Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Can We Just Stop? This episode was inspired by one instance where I went to church and I noticed some things that were happening there. So I decided to address the social vices that are happening in church because I saw another quote which was saying, the church does not need revival, it requires reformation. And I believe that because we are Laodicea, we need revival in church more now than ever. And why am I saying this? Because the other day I went to church. And when I went to church, people were fundraising. They were constructing a building. At church, what happens? When you go, you sing. Then after singing, there's a short session where we are supposed to be given announcements. Then after announcements, now comes the main program where there's the divine program. Now, during this time for announcements, there was an elder who was giving the announcements. So this elder, he came and he said, it's time for fundraising. We're trying to construct a guest house which will be hosting visitors, which I think is a noble thing to do. But the manner in which he did it is what really raised alarms for me, and that's why I had to do this. Because he said, let's give and make sure, let everyone stand up so that there will be no one left sitting down or someone who is hiding. Let everyone go and give, and they have to give in their home churches. Like you have to go to, if you're from Nyanza, you have to go to Nyanza and you have to give your money from those people there, and there was no one who was going to be left standing. Everyone had to be given out. And for me, this felt like coercion. Like, let everyone give. Everyone must give. No one will be left behind sitting here. All of you have to go and you have to give out. So like you see like you are the visitor there. You don't have a place to, you have not been given a home church yet. So everyone now has to be disarranged to the whole church so that they could go in their splinter cells groups so that they can contribute. And now you are left there sitting alone, which felt very awkward, like you are the one who doesn't want the church to progress. Some people resisted the move that we have to stand up and we have to go and give. So this is what they did. We just continued sitting. But this guy was not even satisfied with what we had done. So he took it further. He gave an example of a person. Like now he told us of a real life. He told us there was this guy in 2020. He came here and he asked me, why are you asking congregation members to give so much money? And I told him, it would have been better for you not to speak than for you to speak such nonsense. In fact, I told him, I've been an elder in this church for the last 26 years. I began when this church was just mabati, when it was mabati, and now it is stone, mortar and brick, and it's so good. Like, never come and criticize what I've said. And he said, when that guy asked me that question, you know where he is right now? He's 6 feet deep. Like for me, that was my breaking point. This guy literally told us, if you refuse to give, you're going to die like that guy who asked questions and he died. Imagine, a whole elder, someone who's been appointed supposedly by God. So for me, I found these claims to be very wild, and I could not believe that they could be coming from a man of God. And as though that is not enough, he said, even though you won't give out, I want you to know that this church has been built all the way in those 26 years. And if you do not give out, someone will give out this money. So it doesn't have to be you. So give out. But if you refuse to give out, someone will also give out for you. And you went and you continued showing us how this church had been built from iron sheets to where it was when some people were not contributing. And I wondered, why is the principle of godly giving? Like, why do we have to coerce members to give grudgingly out of fear when the Bible tells us the opposite? Now, I personally believe that we should not be coerced to give out our offerings. Like, it's good, yes, to give. And it is, God loves a cheerful giver. But never ever should we be coerced with death threats or something will happen to us. That's not the spirit of Christ. And I'm doing this in total love. I'm not trying to rebuke this elder, but for me it was very ungodly. Let's read 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 7. It says, each man should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Like when you are giving out anything that deals with money in the church, we should not be coerced. We should give not being undergrudgingly or being compulsed. Like God's love a cheerful giver. Like give what is in your heart. I believe that's the biblical principle of giving out, by not coercing people. And I believe, can we just stop coercing people to give out in churches? Do this, do that, do that. If you don't, you'll do this, X and Y will happen to you. That's not biblical. And congregational members, if you understand, you do not have to be coerced to give what you do not have. If you do not have, it's okay. But if you have, give. And give what you've decided to give. Do not be coerced by anyone, by any fear. And anything that you give out of fear, and God doesn't take that. So that's all for this week. See you next Wednesday for another Can We Just Stop segment. Bye-bye.